Hello, Ghana for for any obi biara aha Ghanatube so modofo snowy any. I was for matana say maji akonye die no ehu say ai ensem no edoso ye pa eno ena mede airboy say wonsom no eno eni nipa. I was for intempa no di mechie na ensem bia ewo ho ana say bia ekoso ewo manga nim no say memfa ensom di mechie.
The majority in Parliament, is likely to see some changes in its leadership following the appointment of the current leader, Dr. Attoforsen, as Minister-designate for Finance. In January 2023, the National Democratic Congress made controversial changes in its caucus leadership, replacing Haruna Idrisu with Dr. Attoforsen. With the current ministerial appointments ongoing, Christian Yale highlights some potential names to take over from Attoforsen.
The appointment of Dr. Attoforsen as then minority leader raised simmering tensions within the NDC. Some had argued that Tamale South MP Haruna Idrisu, as well as the Asawase MP Muntaka Mubarak, were stronger faces for the caucus. But the party then in January 2023 explained that the changes were very necessary. Today, Dr. Attoforsen has been appointed for the Finance Ministry, and already names are popping up for a potential successor. For instance, Adaklu MP Kwame Gavin Sagbuja, as well as the South-Dai MP Roxy Nelson Dafiamekpo have been taped for the role. Some even expect a potential return of Haruna Idrisu, but in all of this, the minority leader Alexander Fiomakin has his own list.
Kwame Agbuja is going to roads and highways. Yeah, we know Ahmed Ibrahim is going to local government. And a lot of you will remain at the backbench. Honorable Achampo, Mr. Speaker, he has done so well. Yes. I will be surprised if he's not sent to the Ministry of Finance as deputy. I will be surprised. I will be surprised. And Dr. Apak is definitely going to education as deputy education minister. Mr. Speaker, we know. That's why I know Honorable Ayariga is going to assume the black chair. And his deputy is my good friend, Kweku Rickett. Because, yes, Kweku is going to be the deputy minority leader.
For a party that has introduced Ghana's first female vice president, it is expected that at least there would be some female representation on the caucus. But you know that names like the Elembele MP, Amako Fibua, as well as the MP for Banda, Ahmed Ibrahim, are not ruled out in all of this conversation. It remains to be seen the potential changes the NDC would make to its bench in Parliament.
Away from that, there are fears that government's anti-corruption fight could suffer if the Operation Recover or Loot team is dissolved. This comes in the wake of special aid to the president, Joyce Bawah-Mukhtari, suggesting that the work of the team may come to an end once the Attorney General assumes office. President Mahama yesterday announced legal practitioner Dr. Dominic Ayene as the Attorney General and Minister for Justice designate, sparking hope and concerns among some. Let's look back at what the special aide to the president had to say about the Attorney General's office and the oral team. Joyce Bawah-Mukhtari wrote that oral is a preparatory team to receive as much information as possible while government sets its administration in place. Oral ends when the Attorney General assumes office. What would it mean if oral ends? Would it even be a necessary move to make? Remember, the minority had also made a similar call on the president, accusing him of sparking the attacks on government installation and officers of the previous government because of Team Oral. Let's find out from Edem Senano, who is an anti-corruption campaigner, what this could mean for the fight against corruption. Edem, good afternoon to you. First, let's talk about Team Oral and whether or not they should be dissolved once Bogatanga East MP, Dr. Ayene, takes office as Attorney General.
Well, my preference would have been that the Oral would probably be around for a little while longer, maybe another 2 months, because I think that the personalities on the committee imbue citizens with confidence in terms of if we give information, these are personalities who have handled information with good results in the past. And so we don't feel at risk or fear a backlash. So I think that from a whistleblowing perspective, if the committee were around for a little longer, it would encourage many more people to provide information that is available.
I see. So there are those who say the team was not necessary in the first place because state institutions exist to play the role which they have been tasked to play at the moment. Your thoughts on that going forward?
I don't think that they have an adequate understanding of the role that the committees play. The committee is facilitating a whistleblowing platform, which is not the clear mandate of any institution at the moment. Indeed, the recent APPOINTS reports have said that over 30% of Ghanaians are reticent to report corruption because they, on one hand, believe there will be a backlash, their identities might be exposed, and on the other hand, they're not quite sure they'll get any results. What Oral does, therefore, is that citizens will see people who have been in the space, who have been using information from sources over the years, and these sources have not been exposed. And that will encourage many more citizens to give information. Their role is not something that is one that a specific institution has been assigned to do. This facilitation of whistleblowing actually enhances the mechanisms we have in place at the moment.
But here we have it, the special aide of President John Dramani Mahama is already hinting that once Dr. Ayine takes office, Team Oral will then be dissolved. Would you advise they go ahead with that?
Well, I gather that that's the position they're taking, and it's the prerogative of the current government to do so. My view would be that let's take a little longer to see how well this works, because we have had a very poor whistleblowing historical record. If this has encouraged many more citizens to provide information, then it's something that is worth doing. I don't see any overlaps. I don't think it's undermining any other institution. I see that as a complementary mechanism, which I think is crucial within our context, because we don't have that ready source of information from citizens.
Now, let's talk quickly about Dr. Ayine. Does he inspire confidence as someone who can lead the anti-corruption fight and, you know, handle the office of the Attorney General the way we wish it to be?
Well, I believe so. I mean, he has enough experience and very appropriate experience. I mean, he's been a Deputy Attorney General before. He's not new to the terrain. He has years of experience in the legislature, in also, you know, lecturing. I think he will hit the ground running. I think that he should be able to do this. But when it comes to the anti-corruption space, I think that one of the things he would need to work very well with is collaborating with the institutions of state who are mandated to look at good governance and anti-corruption. Having a very cordial and collaborative, you know, engagement and relationship with the OSPs and other entities, charges and what have you, is what will bring the result. The AG by himself cannot bring the change that we would like to see in our country.
Leave it here. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Yo, for yako apa uti in semno ese ode anase anya ode day and what didn't for our didn't no e wookie me comment section or na menje and can kind aha Ghanatube so everything for society my crown.